Getting quite a following. Yes.
Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, and this is another deep dive into one of the most thrilling and mind-bending series to ever hit our screens, Black Mirror. Fans have been waiting eagerly for the return of Charlie Brooker's anthology series, and now, with Season 7 just around the corner, it's time to unpack everything we know about the upcoming episodes. Black Mirror has consistently explored the dark sides of modern technology, examining how innovations that are supposed to make our lives easier could, in fact, lead to our downfall. Over the years, we've seen everything from terrifying social media dystopias to AI-driven nightmares, but what does Black Mirror have in store for us in Season 7? Let's take a closer look. The premise of Black Mirror. For those of you who may have missed it, Black Mirror is an anthology series that first aired in 2011, created by Charlie Brooker. The show examines how our relationship with technology could evolve in dark and disturbing ways. Each episode is a standalone story, often set in the near future, and tackles issues like social media addiction, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and surveillance. What makes Black Mirror so unique is its ability to blend thrilling narratives with deep, thought-provoking questions about the direction we're heading as a society. In Season 6, we saw a bit of a departure from the usual format. While technology still played a key role, there was less of an emphasis on futuristic gadgets and more focus on the human element, with stories that ventured into the past or looked at the personal impact of these technologies. This shift was met with mixed reactions from fans, and many are wondering if this new approach will carry over into Season 7.
Don't freak out.
I don't freak out. I never freak out.
Black Mirror. Season 7, what's new? After a long hiatus, Black Mirror Season 7 is finally returning to our screens. Netflix has already dropped a teaser trailer, giving us a glimpse of what's to come. But what do we really know so far? Well, we've got some juicy details to dive into, including the episode titles, plot summaries, and, of course, the star-studded cast. So let's break it all down. First up, the season will consist of 6 episodes, all of which will drop on April 10th, 2025. That's right, all 6 episodes will be available to binge at once. If you're a fan of dark, mind-bending narratives, then this season is sure to deliver. Episode titles and plot summaries. The first trailer for Season 7 introduced us to the titles and plot summaries for each episode. Here's a rundown of what we can expect. Episode 1, Common People. The season kicks off with Common People, which tells the story of Amanda, played by Rashida Jones. Amanda is a school teacher who finds herself in a medical emergency that leaves her fighting for her life. Desperate to save her, her husband Mike signs her up for a high-tech system called Rivermind, which promises to keep her alive at all costs. But as you can probably guess, the tech comes with some serious consequences, and things quickly spiral out of control. This episode promises to examine the ethics of using technology to extend life and the potential dangers of relying too heavily on systems we don't fully understand. It's a powerful commentary on the lengths people will go to for survival and the consequences of tampering with the natural order. Episode 2, Bête Noire. Next up is Bête Noire, which follows Maria, Sienna Kelly, a confectionery whiz kid who works at a candy company. When an old schoolmate, Verity, joins the company, Maria starts to notice that something's off about her. Verity's behavior is strange, in ways that only Maria can see, but no one else seems to notice. As Maria's suspicions grow, she begins to question what's really going on and whether she's losing her grip on reality. This episode plays with the idea of paranoia and the concept of being able to see something others cannot. It touches on themes of trust, perception, and how technology can manipulate our sense of reality. Episode 3, Hotel Reverie. Hotel Reverie brings us into the world of Hollywood, where a high-tech film remake of a vintage British classic sends A-list star Brandy Friday, played by an undisclosed actor, into another dimension. The film's immersive technology is so advanced that Brandy is transported into a new world where she must stick to the script to make it out alive. This episode seems to explore the dangers of hyper-realistic AI in virtual reality, as well as the ethical implications of using technology to manipulate actors and audiences. It also raises the question, what happens when AI is so advanced that it's indistinguishable from reality? Episode 4, Plaything. In Plaything, we find ourselves in a near-future version of London. The story centers on an eccentric murder suspect who becomes linked to a 1990s video game. The game, which appears to be filled with cute, evolving artificial life forms, turns out to have a darker side that leads to violent behavior in its players. This episode seems to take inspiration from the world of retro gaming, but with a Black Mirror twist. It explores the connection between gaming, violence, and the potential for technology to warp our perceptions of right and wrong. Episode 5, Eulogy. Eulogy introduces us to Philip, Paul Giamatti, a lonely man who stumbles upon a groundbreaking system that allows him to literally step inside old photographs. While this may seem like an innocent way to relive memories, it comes at an emotional cost. The system stirs up powerful feelings, and Philip begins to question whether reliving the past is worth the emotional toll it takes on him. This episode looks like it'll be a deeply emotional one, examining how technology can interfere with our grief and longing for the past. It's a poignant reminder of the dangers of becoming too attached to what's already gone. Episode 6, USS Callister, Into Infinity. And finally, we have the highly anticipated return of USS Callister with Into Infinity. This episode picks up where the Season 4 episode left off, with Captain Nanette Cole, played by an undisclosed actor, leading the crew of the USS Callister. The crew finds themselves trapped in an infinite virtual universe, forced to battle against millions of online players who want them dead. This follow-up to one of Black Mirror's most popular episodes promises to explore the consequences of virtual reality and the power dynamics that exist within online games. If you're a fan of USS Callister, this one is definitely something you won't want to miss. The cast. Who's joining Black Mirror Season 7? One of the things that always makes Black Mirror stand out is its incredible cast, and Season 7 is no exception. Let's take a look at some of the names you'll be seeing this time around, because this lineup is seriously star-studded. First up, we have Rashida Jones. You might know her from Parks and Recreation, but in Common People, she's taking on a much darker role. She plays Amanda, a schoolteacher who faces life-threatening challenges after her husband signs her up for a high-tech life-saving system. And let's just say, things don't go according to plan. Then, there's Paul Giamatti, who many of us will recognize from Sideways and Billions. He stars in Eulogy as Philip, a lonely man who gets hooked on a new technology that allows him to literally step into old photographs. But as you can imagine, this trip down memory lane comes with some serious emotional baggage. We can't forget about Sienna Kelly, who plays Maria in Bête Noire. She's a young confectionery whiz kid who begins to notice something strange about a new coworker, Verity. The twist? No one else seems to see it. Sounds like a recipe for a seriously suspenseful ride. In Hotel Reverie, we'll be seeing Tracy Ellis Ross. Yes, the iconic actress from Blackish. She's part of the Hollywood crew in a futuristic film that explores the consequences of AI-created actors. Definitely a storyline you won't want to miss. And if you're a fan of USS Callister, you're in for a treat because Will Poulter is back. He'll reprise his role as Colin Rittman from Bandersnatch, bringing some familiar chaos to the Black Mirror universe in USS Callister, Into Infinity. If you loved the original episode, you're going to want to see what happens next. Along with these familiar faces, we're also getting some fresh talent. Billy Magnuson and Jimmy Simpson will be back for the USS Callister sequel, and Chris O'Dowd, who you may recognize from the IT Crowd, will be in Plaything, which promises to be an intriguing and strange story about a 90s video game. Other cast members include Awkwafina, Issa Rae, Emma Corrin, Jimmy Simpson, and a ton of other amazing actors who are sure to bring these intense stories to life. The diversity of talent in Black Mirror keeps the show fresh and exciting, and I think it's safe to say that Season 7 is going to take us to some wild places. A shift in tone? One of the major questions surrounding Black Mirror Season 7 is whether the show will return to its darker, more technologically driven roots, or continue with the more personal, character-driven stories we saw in Season 6. From the trailer and episode summaries, it seems like we'll be getting a mix of both. The season explores deep philosophical and emotional questions, while still keeping the signature Black Mirror edge. The blend of technology, ethics, and human nature promises to make Season 7 a must-watch. Our nerdy thoughts, Black Mirror has been a cultural phenomenon since it first hit our screens, and the anticipation for Season 7 is higher than ever. With a mix of eerie technological explorations, thought-provoking themes, and a stellar cast, this upcoming season looks set to deliver everything fans have come to love about the series. Mark your calendars for April 10th, 2025, because that's when all 6 episodes of Black Mirror Season 7 will be available to stream on Netflix. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer to the series, this season promises to push the boundaries of what we can expect from our future with technology. Get ready for another mind-bending ride through the dark side of innovation. And remember, in the world of Black Mirror, you never really know what's coming next.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.